Alright, my friends, so we have understood on one of the previous diagrams is that in order for us to build a website like this one right here, we have to prepare our materials and our tools, right? Now up to this point we have one of these materials, which is HTML. Now we have understood HTML at least in a theory. Okay, so I do not expect of you to be an expert in HTML and all kind of stuff, but now at least you have a basic knowledge of HTML. But now you are missing the practice part so that you can master it, right? So in this video, I'm gonna introduce you to the tools that we need to write HTML so we can understand it better. So let's go ahead and focus on this thing right here, which is the tools. Now, in order for you to build a website, then you have to get two things. Okay, the first one is you already have it. It is called web browser. Web browser, it is a program that allows us to access the web or the internet. Makes sense? Now, any operating system that you are using come by default with a web browser. If you are using Windows, if you are using Windows, then you have Microsoft Edge installed by default. If you are using Mac, then we have Safari installed by default. If you are using Linux, I don't know what is the default web browser. Okay, so I'm sorry, you have to launch your default web browser on Linux. However, here I am gonna use Google Chrome, even if I'm using Safari, but feel free to use any code editor any web browser that you want. Safari, Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, Firefox, whatsoever. Okay, now what about the second tool? Now the second tool that you have to download is something called a code editor. Code editor, essentially it's a program that allows us to write a code, and the program will translate it to a website for us. Okay, it's a code editor that will understand the code and transfer it to a web page or a website. Now, since we are here at the beginning of our course, then I'm not gonna require you to download any stuff. We are gonna use some online tools through our web browser to write the code. So here inside your Google Chrome or inside your default web browser, I want you to search for codebin, okay, .io. Okay, codebin.io. Essentially, it's an online code editor. Online code editor, that means we do not need to download. We can use it on the cloud online, and we can code some stuff, real cool stuff, and view it in the web browser. So here, once you are in the web page, we have all these kind of stuff. You can click on start coding. Okay, so here this button right here on the tab on the top left corner, if I can spell. And here essentially it will open a code editor for us immediately, that we can start coding our HTML skills that we have learned about previously. So as you can see, it's really depending on the internet connection, and since I am here, then the internet connection is really bad. However, we have to wait for it because it is the first time for you to view it, so I have to be patient as well as you. So as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, what we have here three areas that we can write our code inside it. Now here, the first area right here, it is for HTML code. And here is the second area for writing CSS code. We have the last area for writing JavaScript code. Because previously I have told you that a website, it's three files: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And since we all know about only HTML, what I want you to do, here we have the CSS area. I want you to click on this arrow right here. Okay, click on it. I can zoom on it. Here's the arrow. Click on it, and let's minimize it. So I'm gonna click on it, and we have this area right here where it says minimize CSS editor. Okay, it's gonna hide it for us. We do not need it up to this point. We are gonna do the exact same thing with JavaScript. So click on it, and minimize JavaScript editor. So we have more space that we can work with HTML. So we are gonna see our code clearly. So as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, in this video I have showed you how you can prepare your tools so we can start coding in the next video. This is just an online editor or an online tool that will help us to write some code and view it in the web browser as a website. But we are not gonna keep using it. We are gonna show you later on a better implementation for our tools. So see you in that one.